Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun. Well, good morning. Nick Collier here, and it's probably been about a week or a week and a half since I've turned this camera on. I ended up getting some kind of weird-ass little illness, some kind of virus from Pluto or something that came through and, kind of wiped me out for about 3 or 4 days. Well, no, about a week. And so I'm ready to get back in the saddle here and let's get some stuff done. So we're working on Metro Guy's project again, and we're going to finish that up by this Saturday because I promised him I'd have it. So let's kind of move in close and see what we got. So basically he is reproducing this knuckle in steel rather than cast iron. Now he's redoing it because he has different angles and different setups that he wants to put on it. But what we're doing is we're machining this little part of the knuckle right there. And so we've created these little squares and they're all ready to go, or rectangles. And you can see the line he wants me to go to is right there. And so we're going to sit right on top of that. And whoops, no, actually we want to go this direction. And we need to cut the hole in there. And then we also need to cut this clamp hole. And we need to saw the thing in half. So, looks pretty straightforward. Let's go put it over in the mill and see if we can start boring a hole. And we'll probably end up doing a bore with an actual boring tool because it's a fairly accurate surface. Alright, so from side to side we have 1 inch 400 thousandths, and this piece here is 1 inch 340. So we pretty much want to just split that in half. 340, so that'd be a 1/2 inch, and 150 and 20. There it is right there. Let's put a little colorant on here. And do a scratch. Oops, hang on, we moved. That's the one side. And the other side is 1/770. So our center point is someplace right in there. I can't see it just yet. We're going to have to get my cheater glasses. We're going to get a center punch. We're going to figure out exactly where this thing is at. Over just a little bit. That should do the trick right there. So, now we're going to drill through this. Let's see if we're in there right. Yeah, as far as I can tell, looking good. So let's take our drill bit out and put a center in center finder, or whatever you might call it. And bring our head or our table over. Until we're sitting right dead center on this baby. I'd say that looks pretty good. All right, let's go. All right, we're center drilled. We'll go ahead and leave that sit up here. Let's put a hole in the center of this. Okay, well, Nick Collier here, and we're back to Metro Guy here. It turns out that the pieces, or the metal that he gave me just wasn't big enough, and so I had to cut another piece of material. We got those pieces cut, and they're a little bit taller, as you can see, maybe what, almost a 1/4 inch, and that's going to give us plenty of room to work from. So we're going to take this and probably go ahead and put it in the vise, trim it down to a consistent height, and because as you can see they're just slightly different from one another, and then we'll start drilling and filling and, you know, doing everything we need to do. So hang in here with me. We're going to have a little fun with this one. Alright, so we're going to just square up the tops here. Well, that's going a little bit too fast here. Let's change our speed. Alright, so we're going to come back in and measure this thing one more time and make sure that we've got everything just right. And we're going from, I don't know if you can see it or not, but we're going from this bottom edge. There's an arrow pointing to just at the bottom of this machine edge. Of course, the machine edge is a little skew, so we're going to go from this lower section, and we're going to go, well, actually, you know what? Let's find medium ground, and let's just go from the center section. And we are sitting at 450, 470, 470. That's to the edge of the hole. Now, we want to figure out how big this hole is. And it seems like it's 600. Little under. We're going to get a little snap gauge to do some damage here. And we're sitting at looks like 590. I'm going to take a second and maybe even a third setting because I think that this is tapered, but he says it's not. And we're sitting at 593 at the bottom. Let's go to the top. And that's 593 also. Well, or actually 591 at the top. So we got all kinds of measurements, and that probably has to do with the fact that this is split and it's a pinch bolt. So, but we do have a straight hole in there, and that's what counts. So 590. Put that over there, and what do we have? What was that measurement? All right, we're gonna have to get a piece of paper because I have no memory. Okay, the hole size is 590. And the block size is, and this is the split side. So the opposite of the split side is 475. So from here to here is 475. And 590, divide that into half, that would be 295. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to touch off here and figure out where we're at. Okay. And I'm going to get a center finder here. Or I mean, not a center finder, but well, my own specialty center finder, which is this little dinky shaft with a point on it. A little bit of Sharpie action. And half of this. 1 inch 345, one inch 345, so that's a ½ inch 150 and 22 and a half. Should get us right dead center. Pretty close. Come back just a little bit. Lock our gibs. Make sure we're right on the money. And we're gonna DRO ourselves back to 0. Get a center drill. All right, so we're working on our last one here, and we're going to bore this out to 590, and that's going to be pretty simple. Nice and snug. We're still on 0. We bring our head back to, well, back about a little under a ½ a turn, and start cutting. And it looks like we're about 2 under. So I'm thinking we just want to leave it like it is. All right, well, we got 4 of them drilled and bored to the proper size. we still have to come back in and put a cross hole in there for the pinch bolt to work. That comes from another day. Today is Monday, and it's about coming on 11 o'clock in the morning, and I get to spend the rest of the day with my granddaughter. She's 8 years old, and we have a hell of a good time. So we'll see you tomorrow. Well, good morning. Nick Collier here. It's another day and another spring day, and other than sneezing and nose dripping, hey, I can't complain. Today we're going to put this counter hole in. Yesterday we bored the main hole. Now we're going to put the pinch hole in, and we need to do some quick layout here and figure out where that hole is going to be, and then let's drill. So stick with me. We're going to have some fun. All right, first thing we want to do is get a little dicum in there. We know that our hole is going to be somewhere in that center there. Oh, that's right. We're going to come off of one edge to get our number, because if you'll notice, the it's square here, but then it kind of tapers here and brings it in closer. And my concern is if I leave it just blocky like that, that this pinch won't happen as readily. So we're gonna taper that for him, which means our halfway point is not going to be halfway. It's more like let's see what we've got here. I'd say something in that realm there. And we're going to come from this side because it's the machined side. Well, no, it's actually a sawn side, huh? All right, we'll come from the rough side. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, let's come from the sawn side. And there's our first scratch. Okay, now this hole just barely touches this big hole. So what we're gonna do, and what size have we got here? $400? Jesus. Another oddball size. 25/64, which is just a little bit larger than 3/8, probably so that the 3/8 can slide in there real nice and easy. Let's see if we can find a 25/64. So, which is 390, which means that we want to come up from this hole that would be 390 there. You know what? I think we're going to have to take this thing out of the vise. Well, half of 390, let's say 400, it would be 200, 195. So 195 would go right to there. That looks pretty good. 195. Transfer that further on. Take us right to there. That looks like I missed just a smidge, unless we've, oops, yeah. No, 195. So we're just a little bit under that. Let's get a center punch, see what we can do here. I would say someplace like right there. And drive it just a little bit sideways. There we go. That's good that way. And then we want to drive it just a little bit that way. Ah, I think that's it right there. Okay, let's get a center finder. And I'm saying a drill. Okay, come on down. Looks good. That looks pretty good to me. We're gonna zero out the DRO just so we know we're gonna be still in place. And this thing, as we use this thing, let's give it a go and see what we got. Okay, we're just going to throw a light countersink on all of these holes, and you know, just do it by hand. It's no big deal. And that should be good enough. Alright, so now the next part is to taper this backside just a little bit. Alright, so we want to find out what this taper is going to be. And all we can do here is just kind of fake it and guess. But I'm looking at that and I'm seeing maybe just a little bit more, maybe just a little bit lower. That looks pretty good. So we're sitting at 13 degrees taper. That should be good by me. We're going to reset the head and be back. Okay, so now we want to pull a taper. I already did one. We're going to pull a taper on this just so that we kind of take up some of the you know, room here so that that pinch can actually happen. My fear was that if it just stayed square, the pinch wouldn't be able to happen. So all right, one last thing. We're just going to clean up some edges. And the corners are pretty sharp, so we're just going to kiss them with a file just so nobody gets stabbed. What I've left to do is to split this thing in half, or to take a section out of it, and I don't have a saw that can do that. Well, I do have a saw. I don't have a circular saw that will go in the mill. So I think what we're going to do is clamp it in a vise and run the power hacksaw right down the center of that and get our split. So we'll be back. Well, I just talked to Metro guy and he said don't split it. He's going to do it at his shop, and that's just fine with me. So this little project is done, and I'm happy to have it out. It's been sitting here for a month or two, waiting to get the time and have him ready. So we're here, and it's done, and we go on to do other things. Hey, Push the little like button if you like this little one, and also go to the little gear on the other side of the screen and click that if you want me to send you an email every time I put something up. This is Nick Collier, checking out.